Hello, friends. I'm the Reverend Terry Peterson, minister of St. John's in Gurek. Today is Saturday, the 20th of March, and it is the 28th day in the season of Lent. So it is time for our 28th object, which is, you might have guessed by now, the mirror. This one is the mirror on my dressing table. You might have a full-length mirror like this one, or maybe you only have mirrors in your bathroom or in your hallway, or maybe you've got a giant mirror in your sitting room over the fireplace or something like that, but any mirror will do. A mirror gives us a reflection back to ourselves, so it only shows us what we put in front of it. The mirror is meant to hopefully give us a true reflection of ourselves. That's why sometimes if you go shopping, for instance, it can be tricky because some shops have mirrors in their dressing rooms that make you, look a little bit different than you actually do. Maybe they make you look taller or thinner or not taller and thinner. Or if you go into like a carnival fun house where all the mirrors are strange shapes and everything looks all wonky. But a mirror's purpose is to reflect back what we see, or reflect back to ourselves so that we can see ourselves clearly, we hope. So that was making me think of almost the only scripture I can think of that has the word mirror in it, though I didn't do a search for this. It's just the one that immediately comes to mind is from 1 Corinthians chapter 13. And it's a part that we don't always read because we're familiar with the part of the chapter that says, love is patient, love is kind, all of that. But at the very end of the chapter, Paul says, now we see in a mirror dimly, but then we will see face to face. Now I know only in part, then I will know fully, even as I have been fully known. And then we get the famous verse, and now faith, hope, and love abide, these three, and the greatest of these is love. So it's fascinating to wonder what he means exactly by now we see in a mirror dimly, but then we will see face to face. And some translations say now we see in a glass darkly, with the idea perhaps that it's meant to be almost like a window that's, too dark or frosted and you can't see through it. But a glass is the ancient world's way. And until not that long ago, actually, within the last couple hundred years, that was the word for mirror. We said, oh, we have like a looking glass, right? So this mirror, or any mirror, is what Paul says we see through. Now we see in a mirror dimly, but then we will see face to face. Now, a mirror reflects back myself. But if I'm seeing someone else face to face, or I think he means God, if I'm seeing God face to face, then what does that tell me about now? That when I look in a mirror, I'm meant to be looking, perhaps, for the image of God. Is that what the mirror shows me? When I look in the mirror, do I see someone made in the image of God? When you look in the mirror, do you see someone made in the image of God? Do you see God shining out of your face when you look in the mirror? Then he says, now I know only in part, then I will know fully, even as I have been fully known. So God already knows us in all our fullness. Anything that we just think, oh, I can't look in the mirror because I don't want to see that. God already knows about that. So we will know that same way. We will know ourselves that same way, with that same depth, and we will know God with that same depth. That's the promise, that one day we will not see just the flaws in the mirror. We won't only see like, wow, there's one random curl sticking out, or, I think I got a little bit of sun, or whatever things we think about ourselves when we look in the mirror. That will no longer be the overriding sense. Instead, when that day comes, when faith, hope, and love abide, and the greatest of these is love, then what we will see in the mirror is face to face with God. And I think Paul is suggesting that we could practice. Faith, hope, and love are already present, though not in all the fullness that God intends for us to experience, because we are constantly blocking those things, but they're here. The image of God is already here. So can we practice looking truthfully in the mirror, being honest about what we see, and at least including in that honest assessment that it's the image of God looking back at us? That's my weekend thought for day 28 of Lent, to see the image of God in the mirror. So I will not see you tomorrow for an object, because Sundays are not traditionally a part of the 40 days of Lent, but we will have worship, of course. So I look forward to seeing you for worship tomorrow, and we'll be back with object 29 on Monday. Until then, peace be with you.